Okay, so for those of you who may follow me on Instagram, I finished the book City of Heavenly Fire in one day. This was a behemoth. This was a real challenge. This was over 700 pages long. Yeah, the bookmark is because I did take a break at one point to eat. But I finished it, and oh my goodness, this book was good. This book was so good. This book made up for the last two books in this particular trilogy. Because obviously Clockwork is flawless and I'll hear no words against it. But you guys saw my previous book talks on City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. I was not the happiest chappy. I liked City of Lost Souls better than City of Fallen Angels, surprisingly. But I still wasn't happy. But this one was just so good. So good. Though it had me going. I was crying at certain points in it, despite myself. Okay. Spoiler warning alert. It'll be in the title, but still spoilers. Okay. Now that that's out of the way. Sorry. Let's talk about this book and what happened. Ooh. Okay. Wait, before I get into it, one thing I want to say that I love that this book did is we didn't just hear from Clary and Jace's pubs. I know we're hearing from like Simon's pub more recently, but we're hearing from like everyone's point of view. Like Alec, Isabel, Gia Penhollow, Magnus, everyone. Emma Carstairs, I think Julian Blackthorn. It's just so many different people, and I loved it. I truly did. I loved it. We even heard from the Sealy Queen at one point. Yeah, don't know what she was thinking. Anyway, let's get into the talk, because this is going to take a bit, and I've got class to get to. Okay, so it was a doozy of a prologue. So we meet this little girl, she's like 12, called Emma Carstairs, and her best friend, Julian Blackthorn, and the Blackthorn family. Now, we'd already been introduced to someone from the Blackthorn family, and we did see Julian in the last book, even if I didn't really know who he was yet. Helen Blackthorn, but we got to see all the other Blackthorn kids. So I love them already. I love all of them. But is there going to be something between Julian and Emma? Because we're already getting hints. I think I'm beginning to recognize when Cassandra Clare's got a couple on the mind. And then Crud, the Sebastian and the Endarken is here, and he endarkened all the adults, including the Blackthorn's father. And they'd already lost their mother previously. The kids managed to flee, like they managed to get to a portal, except for Mark, who is the oldest. He's also part Sealy, like Helen. The rest of the kids aren't. They had a regular Shadowhunter mum, but they're still a very close family. But they're about to hurt Mark because they decide they can't endarken him because he's got Sealy blood. And she freaking throws a knife and stabs him in the chest, and I'm like, you go, girl! Also, she has the special sword that we saw in Clockwork Princess, Cortana. So that was interesting. Jace is, and then like that's where it ends, and then we get to Jace getting a meditation lesson from Jordan, because his heavenly fire is still trapped inside of him, and he keeps burning things on accident. And Jace, Jordan, and Simon have formed like a trio of friends, and it's honestly, I like the dynamic. Neither Alec nor Magnus are coping with the breakup. Like, they're not coping at all with the breakup. And I'm like, because you're perfect for each other. This is why. All Enclave are withdrawing to Idris. This includes the gang. Because good old Sebastian attacked like 6 institutes, so they withdraw to Idris. Because they're like, oh, you can't get in there again. Emma's parents are dead. Poor girl. She's an only child, but at least she's got the Blackthorns. They're basically like her family. Helen is here, but Mark is missing. They didn't like find his body or anything, so we don't know what happened to him. All the couple goodbyes, okay? So, like, this isn't a couple, but when Simon and Clary say goodbye, and then Simon and Izzy, and then Magnus and Alec, I'm like, ugh. And Magnus and Alec talk. Alec is right. Magnus does need to change a bit. He needs to open up a bit more. That's part of what caused this problem. And Alec's already working towards, being better and not doing what he did and getting past the fact that Magnus is immortal. But Magnus needs to get past the fact that Alec is mortal. He's not over that. Still upset that Seb took Amethyst, Luke's sister. Still upset. And he left the JC box in Amethyst's house, which is where they're staying in Alicante, of course. It's a rather intense council meeting. And the koi fish lady was rather rude. I don't think we know her name yet, unless it got explained to me and I didn't catch it. But as far as I know, she's the koi fish lady. Poor Julian. Okay, he's 12 and they put him through the mortal sword, and it's just no. Okay, he's 12. That mortal sword is not pleasant. Emma runs in and is like trying to stop it and being like, "Leave him alone. We already told you the truth." It's like, why won't you believe us without using that thing? And she runs off and Clary goes after her. Everyone's angry over the Undarkened, and fair enough. Can't blame you. Simon was kidnapped by the vamps, so like, they got attacked by an Undarkened, and then Jordan and Maya were fighting off the Undarkened and told Simon to flee, and then he got kidnapped by the vampires. Seb is working with the Sealy Queen. Yeah. I forgot that in the last book. The Sealy Queen has betrayed everyone in her infinite wisdom. I hate the Sealys. Have I said this? The Sealys also attack the Institutes. Mark to join the Wild Hunt. Sorry if you're hearing my brother, he's being very loud. The Wild Hunt we heard of in the last book, and apparently if you join it, you can't leave it. So I'm like, no, we need Mark back. The kids need Mark. So that doesn't sound good. I'm not impressed. And they're going to attack London. Is nothing sacred. Leave London alone. Jace can't control the fire. Clary wants a new sword. She's listening to Emma, because Emma was like, you need a new sword. And she's like, yeah, I do. Simon is being held captive by Maureen, and it's creepy AF, and she's dressed him up like he's had a freaking romance novel, and she's lost it completely. She's got a crown of fingers and a necklace of fingers. It's the Praetor Lupus was burned to the ground by Sebastian, because apparently the attack on London failed, or didn't work as well, and he doesn't like failures, so he went after the Praetor Lupus and burned it to the ground. And then he stabs Jordan through the chest! No. Jordan was fabulous. Like, Maya was about to break up with him, but that's not the point. Jordan was fabulous, and he and Simon and Jace were forming a fantastic trio of friends. Why? No. Not okay with this. Like, I know he died in the show, but I didn't know he died in the books. I mean, Jocelyn died in the show. She didn't die in the books. Kat and Magnus' friendship. Magnus really loves Alec. Like, Kat's like, I've never seen you like this before. It's good. And he's like, because I've never felt like this before. It's different. And then she basically forces him to go to Alicante so that he can talk to Alec. She's like, look, you need to talk to him. You need to sort this out. Because Katrina is the best friend we all wish we had. Party with the Sealies, that will end poorly. Because they're betraying them at the moment. Simon and Raphael team up to get Simon out and to get themselves to Alicante because their Maureen can't touch them. Clary reclaims her family sword because apparently there are 2 Morgenstern swords, so she reclaimed one of them. And I like Diana, the swordsmith, who is there. I like her. The Adamantius Citadel is under attack. That's where the Iron Sisters are. It's nothing sacred to this person. And Clary and Jace go to help because they're just like, you don't know what the Indakand are like. We have to go help. Jace is even more of a bam for the fire. Like, he cuts a swath through the Indakand like, and you're just like, okay, okay, respect. Izzy was furious about not being able to go and help, and she dropped a massive bomb on her parents about how she knew about the affair and she's not happy with them, and basically she and Alec run off, not talking to them anymore. Sebastian wasn't expecting the fire and he got hurt. He was hurt by Jace and he's not supposed to be able to be hurt anymore, so it's like, aha! Something happened to Brother Zachariah when he tried to heal Jace, because, yeah, Jace got hurt. And then I think Clary healed Jace. And they're both in a bad way now as a result of all of this. There's a werewolf called Rufus stirring up trouble with the pack in New York, because he's like, we shouldn't side with the Shadow Hunters, blah, blah, blah. Simon and Raphael are safe in Alicante. Yay. Izzy needs to process her emotions better because she doesn't want to talk about it, so she decides the next best thing to do is sleep with Simon and tell him nothing, not even tell him his best friend was hurt. and yeah, so he goes to check on Clary and Luke tells him about Jordan and gives him his BT Bellicosian necklace. Blessed are the warriors. It's like, I was not prepared for this. Raphael knows a lot of things. I will give him that. It's very impressive how much you know. And he drugged Simon now. It was very interesting seeing Simon drunk, and he's like, I love you, Isabel. And it's just like, okay. Maya is grieving, understandable. Seb is here, go away! Like, he's obsessed with Clary. He's completely stuck on her, and it is so creepy. The Sealies betrayed them. I knew it. Kidnapped all the council members. You leave Magnus alone. You want one glittery hair on his head. Bat has to fight Rufus. He's also kind of in love with Maya. I mean, he has great taste, I'm not gonna lie. Jem is cured! The heavenly fire healed him. He's normal again. He's Jem! And it's amazing. I don't know how that works, but yay! So that's how he and Tessa got together at the end of Clockwork Princess. Aww. That's so sweet. And Jessamine protected the London Institute. She warned them that they were coming so they were able to get away. And I think safeguarded them a little to stop the Indarkent. That's why it worked there. It wouldn't work anywhere else. It's because the London Institute is protected by Jessamine. And I'm like, I think she's found her purpose. And I think she's happy now. I think she's at peace. And I'm like, Jessamine. I'm glad. And this is my addendum for City of Heavenly Fire. I forgot to put this in and I'm really irritated. So, yeah. Sorry. Sebastian attacked the London Institute, but he sort of failed because everyone got away in time. And the reason is because Jessamine is there and warned them and I think kept them safe. and protected them. And he can't do anything to her because she's a ghost. And I'm like, yes, Jessamine, it's been like 130 years. And you have improved. Like, you are doing better as a ghost. It's kind of sad, but you're doing amazing, sweetie. You're protecting the London Institute. Thank you. And I'm so happy that she's doing this. Because I'm like, ee! And I read a thing in, wait, pause for a second, I'll get it. In this, and I'm being very careful with this not to spoil myself, but it is, nice and orderly, so I won't. And if I just get to the right page, I don't know where she comes. There she is. Hee hee, Jessamine. And it's like, she's guarded the London Institute for many decades, but her behaviour wasn't always benevolent. If she disapproves of her residents' fashion choices, they might find the offending articles missing, sometimes replaced by clothing that Jessamine had deemed worthy. Since she had no way to leave the Institute, these garments were borrowed from other residents, causing much confusion. Jessamine, you have improved. Darling, you have improved. And I hope to see you in Chain of Gold. Okay. Glad you were able to find peace. You were a bit of an idiot, but you've made up for it. Damn it, I hate it when bad guys are clever. Seb kidnapped the Downworld Council members to force the Clave to give him Jason Clary. Because if they don't, then the Downworlders are going to be angry because their lives will be considered lesser, and it's just a whole stupid thing. Maya and Lily Chen, who's one of the vampires in New York, need to team up. I like this Lily person. Maya is the new leader of the pack, so basically Bat was losing the fight against Rufus, and then Maya steps in and takes over, and it's like, damn, girl. Yes. Emma is so brave, okay? She's 12, and she climbed across all the rooftops to tell the gang about Edom, and when they ask her why she did, she's like, my dad says the Carstairs owe the Herondales. I'm like, is this to do with the sword? It might be to do with the sword. Either way, I'm ecstatic. The question is to go to Edom or not. Edom is apparently a demon realm. It won't be pleasant if they go. Well, they arrived at the CV court and decided to go to Edom. And finally found out they've been betrayed. Merleon is dead. I'm not sad. I liked him better in the show. Because basically, since he's half Seelie, he can lie. So he's been lying his little ass off to everyone. So Alec shoots him with an arrow. I'm like, go, Alec. And then poor Mark, he was tricked into joining the Wild Hunt because he thought all his family was dead. Because Seelies cannot lie. Guess who told him they were dead? He doesn't know how long he's been with the Wild Hunt, and no, these kids need their older brother. They've lost their father. They need their brother. Because Mark is the one that takes care of all of them. The one that knows how to handle all of them. And no, I'm not okay with this. Off to Edom. And Seb knows, dang it, the Sealer Queen told him, we need to kill that bitch. End of part 1. I still don't understand why these books get split into parts. Dreamland was creepy. When we open into part 2, they're like in Dreamland, and it's like supposedly their ideal place, but it's really weird and creepy. But they snap out of it because demons don't understand love. Like Clary snaps out of it because Simon isn't there. And then Simon snaps out of it because they put him with Clary, and he goes, I love you, Isabel. Aww. And Alec and Izzy both snap out of it because of Max. Because Max is there, but he's still 9, even though they're all older in their dreams. And so Max would be older too. And also, he kind of had a conversation with Magnus, Alec did. And I'm still not sure how that worked, but I think they talked to each other, which was cute. The New York Downworlders are making plans. They're making plans. Sizzy is so sweet. Like, they're just so sweet together. Edom is an interesting place. Like, okay, we eventually find this place that looks like Idris with the Angel Towers, and it's like their shadow hunt is failed, and we're in like a parallel universe where they failed. The prisoners are alive. Yay! Raphael, Magnus, and Luke make for an interesting dynamic. Mommy and son bonding. Yeah, Sebastian spends a lot of time in this book talking to Jocelyn. Clave finally figures out the gang is missing. Mainly because Sebastian told them. I love Emma and Julian. They're just... I love them. Ty is a rather intelligent 10-year-old. Because, like, basically a nut gets thrown through and he's like, no, it's not. It's like, and he explains that Sealy's are the ones that do that. It's like, oh, so it's from Sealy. He's like, no, it's from Mark. And I'm like, for a 10-year-old, you're really intelligent. It is from Mark. He listened to Jace about sending a note warning them about the betrayal of the Sealies. Alec and Jace chat, some bro bonding time. Jace thinks he's gonna die. Clary saved Jace somehow. Lily and Maya make plans. Sebastian is nuts, but what else is new? Magnus's father must be truly terrible. He's making his own son sick in order to call on him for help. I know he's a demon, but still. The kids are questioned. The council needs to listen to Zachariah. Okay? Jem is Zachariah. He's just like being too harsh on the kids and stuff, and we need to keep them together, We need to keep Emma and Julian together. Izzy is hurt, but I think Simon healed her. Downworld, the team is going to show the rest why they need shadow hunters. Because basically, Katrina brings Maya, Bat, and Lily to see a demon. And they can't kill a demon. Only the shadow hunters can kill demons because they're the only ones with the weapons to do so. And really the power to do so. And Lily is smart and she films it. And she's like, I'm going to send this and remind them why we actually need shadow hunters in the world. We may not like them that much, but we need them. I'm like, yes, you do. That parallel universe showed what happened when there were no shadow hunters. And it ain't pleasant. Izzy gets hurt because Jace is an idiot. And Simon healed her with his blood. Raphael is dead. Mixed feelings. Very mixed feelings. Basically, he was going to join Sebastian. But then in order to do it, Sebastian was going to have him kill Magnus. And he couldn't kill Magnus. And so Sebastian killed him. And I'm like, I didn't get to know you well enough to truly form an opinion. I'm sad because Magnus is sad. Simon feeds on Alec because he used up a lot of blood healing Izzy. And all his bottles smashed. Jason, Alec talk again, and Alec does this thing where he ruffles his hair like he's a little brother, and Jason's just like... Claves and Susie have sexy-ish times, and Alec is just hilarious. He's like, straight people, why can't you control yourselves? Gia, with a helpful note from Maya, prepares the Clave for war with hope. Because Maya warns them that Sebastian's going to attack the next day. Emma's parents weren't killed by Sebastian. I'm sure that will come to play in the Dark Artifices series. Clary and Jay's surprise death. Go forth and light the lights of war. That's Gia in Alicante. The Clave is losing and the kids are in trouble. Like, they're trying to get... I really don't know why they didn't do this earlier in the day, but they didn't for some reason. And so while a full-on battle is going on, they're rushing the kids to the safest place. The place. And Helen is protecting them, and they're like trying to get there as fast as they can when Zach comes along, Jem, and helps, and he's so glorious in battle. And I'm like, yes, go Jem! Yeah, and they get into the place, but Helen can't go in and the kids are freaking out because they don't want to lose Helen too. Malik reunites. That was a sort of bittersweet moment because Magnus is in real trouble. Seb forces Clary to be his queen and shuts down all of the escape routes from Edom. But turns out Clary was tricking everyone. And they managed to kill Sebastian. They put some of the heavenly fire into the Morgenstern sword, and because of that, they were able to kill him. And I'm like, I did not see this one coming. Well done. Poor Jonathan. It was actually quite tragic, because when the heavenly fire burned through and we saw what he would have been if he never had the demon blood. And he tries to undo all of his mistakes. So he gets Jace to destroy the Darkened, and he apologizes, but he's like, I can't, I shattered the exits, I can't get you out of here, and I'm, well, dying. But the Darkened are destroyed, but Julian had to kill his father, because Ty was going up to him, because Ty didn't understand, and Julian had to kill him to save Ty, and Ty is like, I hate you, but then his twins like, Livy's like, no, he had to, okay? You understand? He had to kill father, because that wasn't father anymore. But I'm still like, he still had to kill him. He still has to live with that. I hate Magnus's father. Okay, because basically they call him, because like, it's the only way for them to get out, and he was going to take Magnus's immortality away, and that would have killed Magnus, because he would have aged all of those years at once. And Alec goes, I don't want the world, I just want you. And before, Magnus was saying like how Shadowhunters would never just choose the person, they would always choose the world. And I'm like, and then Simon's like, wait, you want immortality? Take mine. He's like, yes, you're a daylighter, I'll take yours, but that's not enough. I need all your memories of the Shadow World, and I'll take all your family and friends' memories too. And you're like, no, we can't, no, Simon, no, we can't lose Simon, no. This is one of the points where I was really crying. I was like, no, Simon! And I don't understand why I was crying. I know that Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy is about Simon becoming a Shadowhunter, but I was still crying. And yeah, I'm not okay. My heart. Stupid clave politics plus 100 years and still not any better. They should have listened to Magnus about not removing the military of the Sealies because they betrayed them, because the Sealies are going to want revenge, and that's probably what the Dark Artificers is all about. They're going to be doing something. And then they're sending Helen away to Wrangel Island because she has Sealy blood and no one's going to trust her. Elaid's going with her, but it means the kids have lost, and they refuse to get, they're not helping Mark either, which means the kids have lost Helen and Mark and their dad. I mean, they're going to live with their uncle, but they barely know him. They've lost both Mark and Helen. I was like, I wanted to jump into the book and strangle that council member. I was like, no, that is not okay. The kids need them. And they tried to separate Julian and Emma, but they're like, no, you can't do that. We're going to be parabatai. That's going to somehow go wrong, I think, because parabatai can't be in love, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be a thing. Simon really doesn't remember. Clary called him, and he did. Malik is together, though. They repaired things. That was the one silver lining in that chapter. And he wrote a book. Magnus wrote a book telling Alec about his life, opening up to him. Like, not all of it, that would take forever, but some key moments. Okay, Simon is remembering because Magnus worked out a loophole. If Simon ascends, then his father can't touch him. Thank you, Magnus. Thank you. Also, there was some close scenes, but Jace choosing to become a Herondale officially, and I'm like, good. You can't let the Herondale bloodline die. Not after everything Will went through. Clary spoke to Tessa. That was kind of trippy, to be honest. Clary and Tessa talking. I was like, whoa, worlds colliding. And Jem took church. And it's funny because Izzy's like, did Zachariah just steal our cats? But Church hates everyone. But not everyone. The reception was beautiful. Honestly, that entire reception scene was beautiful. Maya and Bat, I think they're together now. Forgot Maya's on the council and Luke is retired. I forgot, yeah. Malik is adorable, and I love Katrina. That's where I end. And this is hopefully my final addendum, but in my defense, this was kind of an addendum in a sense, to City of Heavenly Fire. There was a special British edition, which I'm discovering there's probably a special British edition for every one of her books. And there was a bonus comic strip in that I've read because, she released it so that we could read it if we didn't get the special book. And it is so beautiful, and if you haven't found it yet, go read it. It's called The Wedding, and it is Jem and Tessa's wedding, and it is so sweet because it's from the perspective of Will and Jessamine, and then there is ghosts, and Will is just so happy for Jem and Tessa, and Jessamine's a bit confused by this, but she's like, I'm happy for you, I'm happy for them too. And there's a really cute moment in the beginning when Will's looking at the others who are there, and he's like, that's Emma Carstairs, she's the last of the Carstairs line. And it's like, and that's Jace Herondale, the last of the Herondales, my descendant. You can tell, can't you? And Jasmine's like, no, he's much better looking than you. Lies. And it's like, and then he sees Magnus with Alec, and he's like, it's good to see Magnus happy, even if it is with a Lightwood. And then he looks at Simon and Isabel, and he's like, I have no idea who they are. He's like, isn't that Cicely's necklace? Oh, another Lightwood. And it's just so cute. And then Tessa, because Tessa can always see Will when he visits as a ghost. She can't talk to him, but she can see him. And then Jem sees him as well, and is like, so long, my parabatai. And then, it ends with a really cute thing with Jasmine's going like this, looking at them. And then you see Church, and he's got, a ribbon tied around his neck, and it's like, happy wedding. And I'm like, I'm gonna put this comic strip in the description down below if you haven't seen it, because it's everything. I'm dying of feels. I'm drowning. And I'm not doing it a justification, but it was just so cute. It was the cutest thing. And the sweetest thing, and just, yeah. And there was an additional comic strip, actually, I forgot to mention. I think this was a deleted scene, but I've seen it, and I don't have a link for that one. I found the images on Pinterest. But it's, Clary and Jace seeing off the Blackthorns and Emma, and then Jace gives Emma his stele. And yeah, it's a really nice scene. I recommend watching it. Reading it. It's a very sweet scene, so yeah, okay, this is hopefully my final addendum. Okay, done. We're up to 30 minutes. Okay, well, I really do have to stop. I've got class. This book was hands down perfect. It was so good, so brilliant. Recommend reading this series if only to get to this one. And I can't read it. I'm taking Trials of the Shadowhunter Academy to class, and I'm reading it. But yeah, this was so good. 5 out of 5 stars. It was good. It was worth. I didn't actually finish at 11 o'clock last night, so I didn't actually stay up too late because of this. It just took a while for my brain to calm down from everything that happened. But yeah, I do recommend reading City of Heavenly Fire. Is worth it. It's a very, very, very good book. Yeah, so now I've just got Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy to go, and then I might reread the Bane Chronicles, and then I'm gonna have to stop because I've only got Lady Midnight. I haven't got Lord of Shadows, Ghost of the Shadowhunter Market, or Queen of Air and Darkness, and I can't continue on until I have those 3. I mean, I could technically read the Red Scrolls of Magic, but I don't think I will. I'll think about that one. All right. If you like this video, my previous video will be down here, I think. And if you like this video, leave a like, a comment, maybe even subscribe. Tell me what you like about this book. And yeah, see you next time.